Hi there, I'm Bosco, the Demon Queen of Seattle, Washington, and in this drag makeup video, I'm going to be showing you how I go from a non-binary Shaun White stunt double to the 80s neon demon look that we just saw. So, first of all, I'm going to have to do something about this hair and do a little bit of shaving, so I'll be right back. No. First, I like to take in all of the natural features, really to see where everything is. I tend to spit in the face of God and scream, I can do better. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and start with removing the oil from our brows. I'm gonna use a little bit of 91% rubbing alcohol to get all of that stuff out. I use an Elmer's Xtreme hold for my base coat of glue. I'm just taking a little bit of a comb and brushing the eyebrow hairs in the direction that they grow. I don't really like brushing them straight up. I find that it's harder to get them to stay put. Alright, I'm going to use my hair dryer on a cool setting, and I'm going to go ahead and just dry that first layer. Alright, so now that that first layer is dry, I'm going to go in with the disappearing purple glue stick, and we're just going to go ahead and go right over that. And rinse and repeat. Alright, brows are covered, contacts are in. Let's begin. So I take a cheap knockoff flash palette that I got off of eBay for like 18 bucks. And I use the salmony color to do a little bit of color correcting on my brows. My brows are probably the most important part of my makeup. They are the only thing that really sets me apart from any other skinny white twink doing makeup. I like to go in with a base coat of what's called a cake liner. So this is a water activated liner paint that allows me to go over my brow cover pretty safely, but is also really easy for me to adjust if I don't like the shape of it. I tend to keep my brows to begin with somewhat rooted in the plane of reality, because there have been times where I go a little bit too big, too fast, too hard. So we're gonna do blue to match the hair that we're gonna put on. I'm once again dipping into my flash palette with the blue color, and I'm just gonna go ahead and follow the lines that I already created. I'm using the Mehron Cream White. It is not a really high coverage product, but it is super duper smooth. So I trust it to go over my brow block without picking it up. I think the most useful makeup trick is learning how to utilize negative space. Cute! I'm gonna go ahead and use this cream right as a eyeshadow base as well, because we're gonna be doing some really, really pigmented colors, and white is the easiest base to use for bright colors. We're gonna be dipping into the Alexis Stone palette. It is a gorgeous and well pigmented palette. I'm going to go in and highlight my natural crease and then kick it up, kind of erasing where the bone actually goes. I'm just going right down the blue line, and then I'm going to dip into the black to really define this crease. As we get into these darker colors, I start focusing them right in the middle of this curve that we're making. I like that to be the darkest point of my cut crease. So I've laid all those colors down, and what I'm going to do now is go into our lightest shade of blue again, and we're just going to buff all of that out. I'm taking the world's tiniest little brush, and I'm flicking in a little bit of the black eyeshadow. Cute! So we're going to go ahead and take the concealer that we'd been using earlier, the Mehron Cream White, and we're just going to go in and cut the crease, and I'm also going to go in and touch up my eyebrows a little bit. Okay, I think we're chilling on the eyes for a moment. We're gonna take a pause and we're gonna go ahead and move on to the rest of the face. I'm using the e.l.f. Poreless Primer Putty. Alright, so I'm gonna go in with a medium beige foundation. This is the William Tuttle foundation. This is like an old Hollywood foundation, and it is medium to heavy coverage, but it's super buildable, and it allows me to focus the product where I need it the most. My skin looks like a topography map. Pretty sure the braille on my chin reads "help me." Alright, next up we're gonna go in for our initial highlight. I do 2 different highlights. Do a little bit of contour. I'm using paint stick in NG1. I don't do a lot of cream contour. We're also camouflaging the bottom part of my nose. I've been told from a very reliable source that women don't have nostrils, and we're going for realism here. So we're gonna go in for round 2 of highlight. I'm gonna go back to my Mehron Cream White. As I said before, it's really creamy and it's very blendable without being super high coverage. So we're just gonna go in and bump up the highlight a little bit. Oh! Makeup is definitely one of my favorite parts of drag. I feel like if there was like a hierarchy of things that I enjoyed doing in drag, it would start with performing, it'd move on to pulling looks, then makeup, then fucking chasers. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna powder everything. Gonna go in and just redarken a lot of these. I think it's funny that I have all of this chin and I don't do any contouring to it. Choices. So I'm gonna dip back into my flash palette, hitting the pink, and we're just gonna get in there. I'm just going in with some pink eyeshadow and buffing that all out. Okay, this is doing it for me. Cool, we're gonna go ahead and start kicking. We're gonna do a little bit of our bake. I'm using the Ben Nye Translucent set. I look like an emaciated carrot top. We're gonna go in and finish this eye now. I really wish I had some wine right now. I ended up choosing the name Bosco because I am not Canadian enough to be Vaseline Dion. I think it is physically impossible for me not to have my mouth open when I'm doing liquid liner, so I'm not even gonna try. Her versus her, going places. Stuck at home. Just kidding, they're both stuck at home. We're gonna go in and really snatch her exactly together and add just a little white line underneath to brighten things up. We're gonna move on to what makes my brow different from the average brow. So I'm gonna go in and carve this out using a little bit of negative space. She is the VIP of my makeup style. I am taking my foundation color and I am mapping out where my eyebrow spike is not. Does that make sense? I'm gonna go in and pencil in where I've mapped out using a blue liquid liner. I know it's kind of bizarre that I leave my forehead for last, but I just make so many faces when I'm painting, especially when I'm doing my eyes, that it causes my forehead to crease a ton. And rather than unlearning bad behaviors, I'd rather just take the easy way out. So I go in pretty heavy with my highlight. I'm gonna go ahead and use this loose, like a finely pressed glitter. What do they call it? Crystal glitz. It's a pigment. I get my face a little bit wet with some setting spray, and then I go in and I paint in the highlight. Oh, can you see that? Can you f***ing see that? Oh god, yes. I would also recommend dusting off your f***ing bake before you put setting spray on your face, but I'm really brave, so. Okay, no, we're fine. We're fine. We're gonna move on to the lips. So I have been gifted with a pretty substantial bottom lip, but my top lip is, how one might say, aggressively Anglo-Saxon. I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty lip stain in Uncensored Lip Paint. This is my favorite lipstick of all time. I'm going to apply it with a brush because I don't believe in myself. Aww. Oh my god. There is a lot of nose hair action happening right now. Oh. Oh, dysphoria. I don't know if y'all can see this Chrisnickety snack line that I just made, but it's alright, because we can clean it up using what? Negative space! Get into this. Wow. So my lashes are Frankenstein lashes that I pieced together. I start with a wispy lash, and then I go in and cut up 301 spikes, attach them to it, and then sandwich them in between other wispy lashes. So she ends up looking a bit like that. Alright, in the tradition of Paris is burning, I'll be using hair glue to attach my eyelashes. I really don't recommend anyone start doing this because it's horrible for your eye. And also once you start, you can't stop. There's gonna be like a generation of blind homosexuals in like the next 20 years. At this rate, there probably won't be anyone in the next 20 years, so. Ow. I'm gonna go ahead and apply a base coat of mascara. I'm gonna pop on my eyelash, grounded in reality right where my lash actually starts, and then angle it up to really snatch my eye shape up. But she's a little crooked. Aww. I didn't do that right. Okay, so I've thickened my eyeliner base to give us a little bit more room to cheat. Let's try this again. Scoop, scoop, scoop. Alright guys, this is pretty much the finished product as far as the makeup goes. I'm gonna go ahead and throw on some costuming, a little bit of hair. Okay, I'll see you in a second. Alright y'all, this is the final look. I am feeling incredible. I think this is probably one of my best outfits that I've ever put together. There just needs to be one finishing touch. Oh, yes. Let's just cover up all of that work that we spend hours doing. Y'all can't tell me shit. This is it. Well, thank you so much for watching. I desperately need some wine, so I'm gonna get out of all of this and start drinking immediately. While I'm doing that, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. I'm planning on releasing videos on a weekly basis. I have so many really cool looks that I want to share with you guys. So, stay tuned.